Welcome to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Yeah, great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Big game last night.
Oh, yeah.
Proved once again. More on trivia.
So, more on trivia.
Guessed it right.
So, more on trivia.
Where are we on
advanced to the divisional round.
Yes.
So, we are now 8-7.
8-7. 8-7?
And then Jeffy's 0-1.
Oh, I thought we were better than that. Huh. Okay, 8-7.
That's enough to win the NFC South. 8-7.
That's not saying much, but yes, you're right.
Boy, that was a record-setting night for Brett Maher, former Husker kicker, missing 4 extra points in a row to start the game.
Oh, my gosh.
That's an NFL record. 3 had been the previous mark.
Really?
So.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's
missed 4 extra points? How?
Now, I think I've
honestly never seen that.
So when he made his 5th attempt to go up 31-6, even though that put the Cowboys up by 25 points, that probably was his most stressful extra point attempt in his life because the bench was not happy with him, man. And these were ugly misses too. So,
what the heck?
Yeah, it was a good time. So I don't know. Is Brady done? We'll see.
We'll see.
Or he
I doubt
at least done in Tampa. He's going to Vegas next.
Oh, you think
they wanted him originally?
They're done with him in Tampa?
They wanted him originally, remember? In Vegas? Dana White lit that spill. I think Gronk let it spill. Talking to Dana White.
Right.
I think that's what it was.
Interesting.
Somebody did. Anyway, so.
Speaking of Dana White, man, that went nowhere. His little thing with his wife in Mexico, that went nowhere. She slapped him. He slapped her back a couple of times. They had to be separated. And here's a guy who says, if you lay your hands on a woman, there's no coming back from that in the UFC. Huh. And then nothing.
Well, maybe they're working on
silence.
Who knows? They could be working on his exit package.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe, but nobody's talking about it, really. Kind of amazing. I don't know how he skated through that, but it's amazing for him. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got he's the brain-dead president of the United States to talk about today.
Yeah, you remember we had some stuff that you wanted to get to yesterday from his Sunday sermon series.
And then my computer shut down.
Computer shut down. So.
A forced shutdown. You know what? You just have to get a computer that didn't come from here. That's what we need to do.
Hello, choir. How you doing over there?
That's what I need to do. So anyway, right before the computer shut down, I was about to play Biden. He caught a little girl caught his eye, I guess, and he's like, "Hey, a little girl." And then he directed his attention to her and wanted to take a selfie or something. Here's what he said when he saw the little girl.
So much over so many years, and so many young people are going to do so much more than we were able to do. What's your name, honey?
Oh, God.
What's your name, honey?
Let it go, bro.
It's good to see you. Maybe I can have a picture with you before I leave, okay? Is that all right?
No. No, you old creep.
Pause that. Kayla, pause that. Look at this. Look at everybody wearing masks behind him. Go back. Hold that shot. John, what in the world? In Atlanta, Georgia, man. Come on. Stop.
I mean, if they were in Wuhan, China, or Shanghai, China, you might say, okay, yeah, it makes sense, I guess. Even there, though, it doesn't because who was it that said? Dr. Jha was the one who said, the main advisor to the president on COVID, said there's no study anywhere in the world that's ever shown masks to be effective. So why would you wear one? I don't want to.
It's a security blanket now for people.
In fact, it's the opposite because, that gunk gets stuck in the mask and then you breathe it all day. So it's worse than not wearing one. It's just asinine.
It's a psyops campaign that people have fallen for.
Yeah, it is.
And just it's sad to see.
Just more control. There's more ways they can get us to do their bidding. Also on Sunday, Joe spoke of his Supreme Court nominee.
This is awesome.
I think. I mean, I don't know who name he's trying to say here, but we think it was Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Wait,
Our Supreme Court Justice.
Ketan. Play that one more time.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Drown Jackson, he says, by the way.
Ketanji Drown Jackson.
Yeah, Ketanji Drown
Our Supreme Court
Jackson.
Justice.
I love that. I love that isolation on that lady shaking her head.
I know, it's great. Awesome.
He's good.
Well, he went to the black church so often that he's just used to them now, and they love him at the black churches. And look forward to his arrival, I think, pretty much every weekend. And then when he doesn't show, they're really surprised because he grew up there. Well, first he grew up in a Puerto Rican neighborhood. And then he started going to Mass every single morning at 7:30. And then he'd go directly from Mass to a black church and go there. He just could not get enough spirituality.
That's awesome. You want your president to just experience every moment of his day.
Absolutely.
In a house of worship.
That's right.
To better prepare him to lead us going forward.
Do you believe? I do not believe he went every morning to Mass. There's no way did you go in high school.
Mother
and
Teresa
college.
didn't go every day to Mass.
I know.
Stop.
The Pope doesn't go every day, but Joe Biden did.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
That's why 81 million people voted for the man.
Right.
Such a good example.
Right. I went to Mass every morning at 7:30 through high school and college. Shut up. Get out of here. I went to Mass every morning. I don't think there's been a single person alive who's gone to church every day throughout high school and college years.
When I wasn't busy laundering money through Ukraine and China, I was in church.
And lying through my communist teeth about everything and threatening people who disagree with me and calling them fat and challenging them to push-up contests or meet me outside, or you want to go on a race? You want to race me? No, I really don't. You're what, 81? No, thank you. I think he's only 80 though, actually, right?
Oh, you're right.
He won't be 81 until next year.
Yeah,
well, this year he'll be 81.
He's spry.
And then he'll be 82 by the time the election rolls around.
There's a lot of people in their 80s that you look at and you're like, man, he's young for his age. He's in his 60s or something.
I know.
This guy, you're like, man, he's in his 100 and teens, isn't he?
Right. Yes.
He's an old 80.
He is. Yeah, he didn't age well. At least his mind didn't. But he's got dementia of some kind. But bless those pills that he takes every day just to get him through.
Yeah, need a few more so he can stop hitting on little kids.
Yeah, that would be nice. Of course, that was not a factor of his dementia. He's been doing that forever.
That's true.
Yesterday, too, he sang happy birthday to MLK III's wife.
Okay.
It was her birthday.
All right.
And I love when he gets to her name. See if you can discern. Her name is Andrea. See if that's what he sings here.
Okay.
Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family.
Does she?
Somebody's birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Happy birthday, dear Valen. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Valen.
Valium.
He's singing to Valium?
Valium.
Is that what he's singing?
Man, I want to sing the Valium most days.
Happy birthday, dear Valium. I'm sorry, who? What? What are you trying to say there? That was not Andrea. I will say that. It was not Andrea. Maybe you should know who or try to remember her name. Well, he can't. He can't. So you can't be expected to do
Well, you
that.
really talked yourself out of that one real fast.
I did, yes. I realized how ridiculous I was being. Expecting him to remember a name. Boy. Nope, not going to happen.
He
sucks. The worst.
Okay.
But there's no problem there, right? There's no problem. And not exactly Marilyn Monroe-esque happy birthday song there.
Oh, my gosh. I don't want that from him.
No, I know.
What are you... That's...
Happy
no,
birthday.
don't do it. Don't. You're making me sad.
Also, He shared his thoughts on Republicans who want to cut the massive spending that's going on. Yeah, I mean, how dare you ask that maybe we cut back on spending money we don't have? How dare you? Yeah, here he is.
Federal deficit is down $1 trillion.
Down $1 trillion.
Plus dollars.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Hear me. That's a fact.
You want to pause that? Because we've had discussions before. We're like, how can he claim that? How can he claim? It's that stupid, massive spending bill that only Thomas Massey voted against. Woohoo, boy, you're great at that deficit reduction, Joe.
Yeah.
Shut up. That was COVID, man.
It's asinine.
It was the COVID
We
reaction.
went from the massive, $7 trillion spending on COVID, and he spent less than that?
Woohoo.
Well, of course. I mean, you don't have to do the spending for the COVID anymore, like we were anyway. All right, let's hear the rest of this BS.
Yeah.
Hear me. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
And there's going to be hundreds of billions reduced over the next decade. But so what? These guys are the fiscally demented, I think. They don't.
There's the pot calling the kettle.
I love
demented.
Look at that.
Nobody's more demented than that freaking guy.
He's out there building bridges.
Yeah, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, this was the unifier. Yeah, the unifier, unifying people again. He also discussed the need. This guy, it's very difficult to listen to him, to look at him,
and as you're listening to
know
this,
he's there.
To this. He's there. As you're listening to this clip where he's trying to justify the 87,000 new IRS agents, just note that the majority of the people who are audited by the IRS are far and away middle class.
Right.
And also, they're wanting to know your transactions on PayPal and what is it? Is it Venmo? The $600 or more. Like, we're going to find out. So help me.
I'd love to know.
You're sending more of those.
How many times has Warren fat piece of crap Buffett been audited? I'm guessing that number's 0. I'll bet it's 0.
So here comes his lie of justification on this.
Okay.
Ugh.
You know, all these new IRS agents we have is because they fired a lot of them.
What?
And a lot of retiring. And guess what? Who needs serious agents to know what they're doing and not doing?
What?
The billionaires. The multi-millionaires.
That's not who's getting audited.
Nope.
Jackass.
He's a lying piece of crap. I dislike this man
I know, man.
with all the intensity of 10 trillion white-hot burning suns. I don't hate him because that would be wrong. So I just dislike him with a lot of intensity. Right. 10 trillion white-hot burning suns.
And that's fair.
I think it's fair. Yeah. I can't help it.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Yesterday, he discussed AR-15s again. And, well, what else can't you buy besides an AR-15? I mean, we don't let you buy nuclear weapons or F-15s. Here he is. It's idiocy.
I'm going to get assault weapons banned. I did it once. I'm going to do it again. There's no social redeeming value. Deer aren't wearing Kevlar vests out there. What
Deer,
the hell you need
my gosh.
No, I'm serious.
He's serious.
And ban
No,
the number
I'm serious.
of bullets and go in a magazine. There's no need for any of that. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots.
Yeah, who's ever saying that?
If you need to work
Shut
about
up.
taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s.
Okay.
You don't need an AR-15. I'm serious. Think about it. Think about the rationale for this.
You think about it. I can't take it. Stop. I just can't. Again, with the deer and Kevlar line. Somebody, for the love of heaven, please tell him how stupid that is. Please. It's not funny. It's not interesting. It's not a good analogy. Tell him to shut up on the deer in Kevlar. And you need an F-15 in order to fight the government. Absolutely not.
How many planes did we leave in Afghanistan? I'm sorry. How many planes did Joe Biden leave in Afghanistan? Wonder if there's a market.
Lot. We're hundreds, right?
Is there a market for an F-15? Like if I wanted to buy one, that's probably the first place I'd go shopping.
I don't know. Have you seen the Pepsi Harrier jet documentary?
Yeah. No, I didn't see it. I just know from you telling us.
Where's My Jet?
Yeah, you
So
told us
good.
about it on Overtime. I got to see that.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's really, really interesting.
So, I mean,
Speaking of, somebody owning a jet.
and it shouldn't be illegal. If you want to own a jet.
It didn't seem to be.
No.
Because Pepsi was offering one as a prize.
I'm not even talking about the Pepsi thing. I'm talking about to the old man there who's challenging all of us.
It's not.
Let's go. All right. Then if I had the money, I'd probably buy one for sure, just so I could rub it in his face. Here's my F-15, old man.
And what this broken down old man doesn't understand is that when 300 million people own guns, it makes it really difficult for the government. I don't care what the government's armed with.
It's almost like the founders knew what they were doing.
It is. Yeah. When all your citizenry is armed, you can't maintain control of them. If they rise up and you've got hundreds of millions of people with weapons, that's effective. I don't care how many F-15s you have. Are you going to kill everybody in the nation? That would be stupid. But it's one of the reasons the Soviet Union attack plans didn't include Texas. They were never going to come through Texas. That wasn't part of their planning, just in case they ever invaded the United States, because Texas is too well armed. And it'd be very difficult to maintain any kind of control against the citizenry in Texas.
I hope he's enjoying his last week as president.
Yeah, I hope you're right about that. That'd be great if it's next week.
Because remember, come Saturday, all bets are off if the Democrat Party is going to keep protecting him.
Yep.
Because that 2-year mark is up.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then there's just a very qualified individual waiting in the wings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, isn't she, though? Oh, man. Afghanistan's another good example. They fought the Soviet Union for 10 years. They didn't have F-15s. The Mujahideen didn't have weapons like that. But they did have AK-47s. Pretty effective, actually. It just pisses me off. He's just so awful. And everything he says is asinine, stupid, hateful. He just hates half of this country.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around it. And it's more than, disliking us with all the intensity of a billion or a trillion or 10 trillion white hot burning suns. He just hates our guts. Got some good news for you, though, on Thursday. So day after tomorrow, 11 Eastern, 10 Central. I'm going to be hosting a live off-the-record private Q&A exclusively for Blaze TV subscribers. It's your chance to just chat with me about whatever's on your mind, any questions or whatever, concerns, comments. We won't have any big tech censors looking over our shoulders, so no topic is off limits. If you're not a Blaze TV subscriber, head over to blazetv.com, use a promo code OFFTHERECORD, and subscribe today so you can join the conversation. The other Blaze TV hosts and I are going to be doing these live chats on a regular basis. So if you want to have a direct line to me, Glenn, and the rest of the crew, Stu, I don't know, Jeffy will probably be doing these. Be sure to subscribe now. Again, the live chat will take place Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central. So go to blazetv.com, use a promo code OFFTHERECORD.
Can I just say one more thing about this whole gun stuff? And, I was just looking this up because I wanted to verify this. Average police response time for a shooting incident. So when there's a shooting incident, it takes police on average 7 minutes to arrive on the scene. Mm-hmm. The average shooting incident duration, only 5 minutes. So I'm going to stay armed, actually, Joe. But thank you.
But you only need one bullet.
Only need the one bullet. Yeah, I'm a good shot.
I mean, if there's 7 people that enter your home, you got to be really judicious about who gets the bullet.
Which one do you want? My one bullet. I mean, oh, gosh.
There's no reason. There's no social justification for that.
I'm surprised, though, that the old man, because he was going through all of his stupid examples that he likes to trot out. He did the Kevlar vest on deer. Mm-hmm. He did the you don't need an F-15. You don't even need an AR-15. I'm surprised we didn't get the cannon mentioned there either.
Yeah, dang it.
He really doesn't pull that out that much.
No, he didn't.
Which is a shame. Because
I wonder if somebody mentioned to him. Well, no, because they would have mentioned these other things too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You can't own a cannon.
You can.
So,
and in the Revolutionary War, they had citizens. They were like, "Hey, can you help us out? Because I know your ship has cannons. Can you help us out against the British?" I mean, whatever.
And they did.
I know. This guy.
I know, but he does it so often. You feel like you need to address it again. It's like you can't just let that lie lay out there all by itself. He's dangerous. He's really dangerous.
The Marxists that selected him to run our country, boy.
What was the matter with him?
Y'all could have done better, I'm saying.
And you think back, the way he was presented at first, like, oh, he's a big-time moderate. Oh, this guy's right in the middle. Oh, everybody's going to like him because he's just so moderate. Nothing could be further from the truth. He's more radical, more extreme than Barack Obama was.
Yeah, and I have remembered this fact since 2008 when Obama chose Joe Biden as his running mate. And it's that Obama had the third most liberal voting record in the Senate, and he chose the first most liberal voting record in the Senate, Joe Biden.
Yeah, we forget that.
I mean,
forget that.
That's all you need to know.
Man.
Help us.
This is kind of fun. Wyoming has said they want to phase out sales of new EVs by 2035. It's really kind of a shot at California, I think. Jurisdictions like California and New York move toward banning the sale of new gas-powered cars. One U.S. state wants to go the opposite direction.
Do they?
Wyoming's legislature is considering a resolution that calls for a phase-out of new electric vehicle sales by 2035.
I love it. It's my kind of state, Wyoming.
Just making a statement. I love it. Introduced last Friday, Senate Joint Resolution 4 has support from members of the state's House of Reps and the Senate. In the proposed resolution, a group of lawmakers led by Senator Jim Anderson says Wyoming's proud and valued oil and gas industry has created countless jobs, contributed revenue to the state's coffers. They add that a lack of charging infrastructure within Wyoming would make the widespread use of EVs impractical, and that the state would need to build a massive amount of new power generation to sustain the misadventure of electric vehicles.
Seriously.
Other states are not thinking about that. California's not thinking about it. California can barely exist now as it is with their grid. Now you're going to add all the cars in California to it? That'll be fascinating.
Yeah, is California, I don't know the answer to this. Are they actively trying to build new power plants of any kind?
No, it'd be interesting to see when the last power plant was built
wait
in
a
California.
Minute. They're getting rid of gas cars in California, and they're not building power plants for the charging.
Yeah, it should go really well. It should go really, really well.
Part of me, I think about this quite a bit because I'm a nerd. I would love to even if it's just for just 10 minutes, have Thomas Jefferson come back. Hey, check out these 50 experiments, dude. No, first, before you do anything, look at this California one. Isn't this awesome? Look what they're doing over there. You like that? Mm-hmm. I mean, talk about a state that is self-destructing.
Oh, my gosh.
Total free fall.
My gosh.
By the way, Texas, record high surplus. I'll have to find something on this. I forget what it is right now. But they're trying to figure out how to spend this money, give it back to us. Like they're trying to say, you get a property tax argument.
Mail me a check.
Right. That's what I think that's the simplest thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because you got people saying, don't do property taxes because some people are renters. Okay, whatever. Just send us a check. Like
mail me a check that will cover my property tax this year. That would be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be very nice.
Record surplus, even after all this COVID insanity. How do you like that?
Incredible.
That's one thing.
That's a well-run state.
That's one thing Texas has always done well is their rainy day fund. And now we're going to spend it on us. All right?
Uh-huh.
Have fun, California, trying to power up your house.
Also, the WEF is meeting in Davos, Switzerland, of course, this week. They want us all to live in 15-minute cities where cars are no longer allowed on certain roads. And
they have like a little sample city. Is it Oxfordshire? Is that what it is? Like if you want to see how well run a 15-minute city is, because you remember what they did in Times Square? remember what was it Bloomberg who cut off access?
Yeah.
Where you just
had to
only
walk.
pedestrians, right?
Yeah. He took away vehicle travel
Right.
on a bunch of streets in Times Square. And people are a little irritated because it screwed up the whole flow of traffic.
Okay, now imagine that on an entire citywide scale.
Yeah, it worked out really well, I'm sure. But here's a look.
People are pushing back. Watch this.
In the dead of night, a hooded figure removes a base plate for a bollard, then pours cement into the hole. The aim, to make it hard to install a new one. This footage, obtained exclusively by ITV Meridian, is one of hundreds of incidents of vandalism in Oxford's local traffic neighbourhoods.
Oxford, okay.
Those removing the barriers often don't even wait for the cover of night.
Put in his garbage
Now,
can.
new figures show just how much this kind of activity is costing. Delivery drivers,
Look at this.
some filmed flouting the rules.
Yeah, I'm going to
condone it. But I can understand it because they're not listening to us, and that's where the anger's coming in. You know, that and people being stuck in traffic. There is no democracy in Oxford.
Wanton vandalism or a form of civil disobedience.
There you go. Nice job. So there you go. So those are the kind of things that the WEF right now is trying to plan for you.
And look how popular it is.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah, your quality of life be damned. They don't care. They're eating caviar, and they're trying to make rules. And now they've got their minions in the press trying to say that, there's all these conspiracy theories about the WEF online. Ignore them. They're actually trying to make the world a better place.
What I love is them calling the Great Reset a conspiracy.
Thank you.
Are you kidding me? And the media plays right along with them and just supports their claims that it's some nutty conspiracy theory.
Do we have an update on the health of Klaus Schwab? Because remember he couldn't attend those early meetings. He wasn't feeling so well.
Darn.
And I just hope
That's too bad.
I hope he's recovered. I hope he's doing better now. And
Right. Yeah.
and just see.
Obviously, we wish the best for Klaus.
Oh crap! He did show up.
Did he
today?
Well, then you mean good. He did show up. That must
meant,
mean he's healthy again.
Good. Yeah, I get
you
my
got
words
confused.
mixed up. Yeah. So he said he wasn't going to be there, but apparently this is from 48 minutes ago. He apparently did show up.
Great.
Good. I'm so glad he's feeling better.
I'm sure they're happy to have him there. Pathead Dan Diesel, 75, sent this from Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Something's up there.
Illinois just passed HB 5471 banning assault weapons. And here's the response of one county. The map shows all of the counties in green that will not enforce the bill.
Yeah, I forgot to send this back. So
okay. So we don't have the actual,
yeah.
but there's
if you
a lot
find
of
it,
green.
I think it was from like Thursday or Friday, Kayla. But anyway, so if you imagine the entire state of Illinois, the majority of them on some level
are not going to enforce it,
whether officially or unofficially, have said local sheriffs have said, no, we're not going to go and make you register your weapons. So anyway, and now the governor though has pushed back and I think yesterday he was saying how I forgot what he said, but anyway, he's there we go. See that that little map there?
Oh yeah, that's a lot.
So,
that's most counties in the state.
Yeah.
Huh. What's the yellow? Do you know what the yellow represents?
Let me see here. So let's see. Okay, so let's go in order here. The light blue has drafted an unsigned policy against the enforcement. Okay. The purple there has issued supporting the Second Amendment statement without mentioning the bill specifically. The yellow counties support the Second Amendment statement. Oh. The green will not enforce 5471. The majority of the state will not enforce it. And then the dark blue is an unofficial statement of non-enforcement.
And of course, the governor, the Democrat governor of Illinois, has threatened all the sheriffs.
Yeah. Political grandstanding. You don't care about children.
Shut up.
So we'll see where this goes. But Glenn has said for years, right? Glenn Beck, the guy does a show down the hall after this one. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it, but he has stated that your local sheriffs are the key.
Yeah.
As things fall apart, get to know your local law enforcement. And that's a fact, man.
Definitely.
They're the last stand between us and the Constitution.
And we need some gatekeepers right now because The left is just out of their minds. And they don't think they can be stopped now, and so they're pretty transparent about what they're doing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Mike Thompson tweets, Biden says you need an F-15 to take on the government. The Taliban and Viet Cong seem to do fine without one. And as we mentioned, the Mujahideen. There's been quite a few guerrilla movements that seem to be fairly effective. Hee-haw the Viking. Someone might want to let Joe know that we can use AR-15s to get F-15s.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Pathead T. We won't have to worry about our military real soon. Biden sending all of our equipment to Ukraine. Yeah, it'll take care of it. From James. California won't need new power plants. The betting on solar and wind being ready by then. Sure. Yep, they are betting that it will happen, but I think they're going to be quite surprised and forlorn to find out.
Such a well-run state, that California.
Oh, isn't it? You know, with all the resources California has, with the weather, with the biggest population in the country, with the diversity of the landscape, and they have absolutely everything, and they've run that state into the ground anyway. So they've overcome all their advantages to turn them into disadvantages. Congratulations.
That takes talent.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's why when they've been in a drought for years and then they get rain and it just floods everything because it just runs right back into the ocean. They've done nothing to capture the water. They don't have enough reservoirs. They haven't, put in any kind of system to direct or guide the water like we do here with the bayous. Do something to protect your land. But they won't. Their policies are just to leave it alone. Jimmy Dimples tweets, the WEF's 15-minute city, huh? Sounds like how long it'll last before it goes full Lord of the Flies.
Become ungovernable, man.
Yep.
Don't do this. Don't give them what they want.
I understand our live stream on iHeartRadio is working now, right? So good.
Oh, good.
Welcome to all our radio listeners. Apparently, we were down at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So, Martin, can we just restart the show for those that might have missed it? There we go. Okay, yeah.
Wait. We can do it all over?
Yeah.
Welcome to Pat Gray Unleashed.
I'll just redo. Welcome! Happy Tuesday.
Huh. Boy, that was some game last night, right?
Oh, man.
The guy missed 4 extra points.
No, he missed 4 extra points?
Yeah, but
That's
they won
really
anyway.
bad.
31-14. It didn't matter.
Maybe we'll save doing the show all over again for Groundhog Day. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Okay.
But you know what wasn't down during that time?
Tell me.
BlazeTV.com. So BlazeTV.com/Pat to subscribe, and then when Blaze Radio is down, you won't have to worry about it.
There you go. Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. File that away. BlazeTV.com/Pat.
Always prepared, no matter what happens. Sheila Jackson Lee is trying to criminalize criticism of non-white people. That seems, I don't know, unconstitutional. She introduced a House bill criminalizing, quote, conspiracy to commit white supremacy.
Boy.
Which includes criticism of non-white people, which influences an individual to commit a hate crime. My gosh. H.R. 61, Leading Against White Supremacy Act of 2023. Oh, so it's LASA. Introduced last Monday by Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas. It seeks to prevent and prosecute white supremacy-inspired hate crime and conspiracy to commit white supremacy-inspired hate crime. You've got to be kidding me. Yeah. Wow. She just gets, she started out butt stupid, but she has gotten even stupider over time. So this is clearly unconstitutional. It's clearly against the First Amendment. You can't criticize someone. The congressional bill, which was referred to the Committee on the Judiciary, states that someone engages in a white supremacy-inspired hate crime, Quote, when white supremacy ideology has motivated the planning, development, preparation, or perpetration of actions that constituted a crime or were undertaken in furtherance of activity that, if effectuated, would have constituted a crime, unquote.
Yeah, she's saying that even like a social media platform, if you come out against the way the border is being enforced, then obviously you support you're like against the white replacement theory or subscribe to that just by wanting border security.
Gosh.
So therefore you're a white supremacist and action needs to be taken against you by the federal government. This woman is
It's getting pretty
nuts.
scary. But this goes right along with what's happening in this country. San Francisco just their reparations committee that they put together, just proposed a plan to city officials last month that would pay longtime black residents of San Francisco, of the whole Northern California metropolitan area, $5 million each. $5 million each. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm from San Francisco. I was born to black sharecroppers. And
really?
So, yeah, that's how I've always identified. Always. And
you know what's so funny?
I've secretly been living in San Francisco for about 15 years now.
Are we related?
Same thing? I think we're cousins.
We have a very
I think
similar
we're cousins.
background story.
Really? That's weird.
Huh. Okay.
How much fraud
nuts.
will be perpetrated to take advantage of this? The San Francisco African American Reparations Advisory Committee submitted the report to the Board of Supervisors just before the new year, which addresses public policies created to subjugate black residents in the Bay Area and includes a list of financial compensation, such as the lump sum reparations payment of $5 million to each and every individual who is eligible. Wow. They wrote, centuries of harm and destruction of black lives, black bodies, and black communities should be met with centuries of repair. The committee chair told the Chronicle, if you look at San Francisco, it's very much a tale of two cities. His name is Eric McDonald. He serves on the panel with 15 other members established by city officials in 2021. Such residents who qualify for the payment must meet at least two criteria from a list of requirements.
Okay.
The applicants have to be at least 18 at the time the city enacts the committee's proposal.
Okay.
You must have identified as black or African American on public documents for at least 10 years. I got some writing to do, I guess, with that. I'm way behind on my documents. Are you, Keith?
No, I keep this stuff.
You do?
In a secure folder for this very day.
And we have to prove we were born in the city between 1940 and 1996. Other requirements include residents that have lived in San Francisco for at least 13 years. So that's perfect for me. I've been there for 15.
Yeah.
Or personally been incarcerated or the direct descendant of someone imprisoned during the war on drugs.
Oh, right.
Oh, man.
Boy,
So you don't even have to have slavery in your background.
I want the footage from these meetings where this little think tank sat around and was like, all right, who's getting the cash, y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then somebody said, well, there's not many descendants of slaves out here. So,
yeah, since California wasn't a slave state, by the way.
Exactly. So they're
It
like,
was not a slave state.
what can we do here? And like, I wonder, honestly, did any idea get rejected? Did somebody say, oh, I think anybody that's ever, I don't know, used a black marker, right? Because look at the white supremacy involved in that. You're draining this tool of its black ink. Look at this. Mm-hmm. I think you deserve reparations. Did that one get tossed out? I bet no idea got tossed out.
No.
In fact, they're probably going to go to the drawing board if they hear this. They're like, oh my gosh, that's good. Let's go do that.
So the Census Bureau shows black residents total about 5.7% of the city's population. I hope that includes us because, it might not be obvious to some that we've lived in San Francisco for so long.
Yeah, don't try to change my experience.
Don't even
This
do
is my
it.
lived experience that you're trampling on if you deny me.
The Chronicle reported that the State Reparations Task Force believes that approximately $569 billion may be due to black Californians for housing discrimination alone between 1933 and 1977. Tanish Hollins, the committee's vice chair, told the outlet the reparations would quantify that harm from policies the city passed that touch on the legacy of slavery.
And it's about
time. About darn time. The report acknowledges San Francisco or the state of California never formally adopted the institution and tenets of segregation, white supremacy, systemic repression, exclusion of black people through the legal process, or chattel slavery.
But don't let that stop them.
Don't let that stop us. We're going to do it anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So, who pays? That's the one thing I haven't gotten to, and it doesn't look like it's included in the article.
Hold on.
How are you going to pay for that $569 billion?
Yeah, I don't know. My brain's moved on because Pat Gray's not allowed to say who pays without singing a song.
What's that? Who pays your salary?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that.
That's fine. That's fine. I just want you to know that your audience is out there listening, and when they hear your voice say who pays, that's where it goes.
What's that? Who pays your salary?
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate that.
This is just, can you imagine if you're black in that city? Wow, do you want this to happen? I mean, yes, please. Man, have I been oppressed ever since I was born. And it's messed me up completely.
Man, have I just started identifying as black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a resident, of course, of San Francisco, which, again, might not be clear to everybody, but that doesn't mean it's not so.
Yeah, again.
And that I don't identify as having been born in San Francisco.
Who am I to deny your experiences as a black man
Thank you. Exactly
in San
right.
Francisco?
Exactly right.
As a sharecropper's kid.
And in fact, my wife was born in San Francisco. So I do have a tie there, legitimately.
Hold on.
And how dare anybody say that the rest of what I've said isn't legitimate, because it is.
Wait, hold on a second. What were the criteria again?
You have to been, let's see, let me go
Born
back
between
to that.
1940 and 1996.
Yeah.
So for Jackie, check, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have to be 18. Check.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You have to have identified as black or African American
Just
on
say
public
yes.
documents.
Oh,
Yes.
public. Tell her to do something real quick. Change something to African American. All right. So then what else?
And
is left?
prove you were born in the city.
You said she was born in the city.
Yeah, she was.
She's 18. What's stopping anyone from going, I need to go and renew my driver's license? Yes, I'm African American. Is the person taking your picture at the DMV in California going to stop what they're doing and go, are you sure about that? Hell no. They're a government employee with these stupid edicts from the state, and they're going to go, oh, absolutely, sir. Okay, African American you are. Now you've got a driver's license with it. What's to stop anyone from doing this?
Nothing.
This is the dumbest country.
There'd be so much fraud in this. And again, who's going to pay for this? How high are you going to raise taxes on an already overburdened tax base? Now another $569 billion to just give to blacks
There is nowhere
who've lived there for a while.
left in this country with common sense to run to.
Oh, man. And least of all, San Francisco.
Yes. Help us.
Incredible. Yeah, I think, $5 million should just about do the job. Yes. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah. And then you're standing there, you're like, yeah, okay. All right. MALINAK. Just sign that, write the check to me there. Thank you very much. I'm feeling less oppressed already. I mean, this world is...
It's crazy.
It's insanity.
Completely crazy, upside down. Jeez. And they're not even trying to tie people into the slave trade at all.
Right.
They're not even saying if you are a direct descendant of a slave, then you're eligible for this. They're not even doing that because they know it's so ludicrous they can't tie it to that. Most people are not going to tie back to that.
That's the answer.
There's a show called The High Wire, and they had a nurse on to discuss the rapid rise of infant deaths after COVID. Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's not good.
So there's so many different things going on all at the same time. We'll probably jump into this after the break. But every day we have new stories about this.
Yeah.
And every day the powers that be continue to ignore these things. Mm-hmm. Although they did decide to investigate, what was it we talked about yesterday? They are going to look into
strokes in old people.
Strokes in old people.
That's where we're gonna get to the bottom of that.
Don't worry about the phenomenon of sudden death in young people who are otherwise healthy. Don't worry about that.
You mentioned that nurse. We've got that video. It's really sad. The information that she shares as a whistleblower. We've got yet another doctor calling for the pulling of the mRNA vax from the show.
In addition to the two yesterday?
Yeah. And a celebrity has been enlisted, and they're still promoting this thing. They're not going to stop promoting this shot. We're going to get it in your arm one way or another, and so that's good.
If we have to rape vaccinate, we will.
Wait, what was that now?
Rape vaccinate. Where they just walk up to you and stab you in the arm with the vaccine and just inject you.
I have never heard that term.
Well, it's because I just made it up.
That's an interesting phrase. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's what
that's
what
exactly
it's going to come
to,
to,
right?
Yeah. Somebody will hold you down, or maybe they'll just walk by and jab you with the needle. Oh, darn it! I didn't mean to do that. But now you're vaccinated, so that's a good thing.
Wow!
It wouldn't surprise me.
Don't plant these ideas in their heads, bro. Hey, Brad Meltzer is also going to join us coming up in 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's got another
book.
Yeah.
That's prolific, isn't it?
Yeah, World War II conspiracy. Got to love that stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Involving
the assassination plot to kill all three of the Allied powers leaders.
FDR, Churchill, Stalin.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe. Well, we so affectionately refer to him as Uncle Joe.
Wow.
The guy who systematically starved 10 or 11 million of his citizens in 1932 and 33. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you know, I drafted a tweet last night that I didn't send. Maybe I'll send it now. What's the biggest difference between Stalin and Fauci? Fauci's got a 401k to pad. Yeah, I think I'll send that now.
All right. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Mike Thompson tweets us only $5 million in San Francisco. That's racist. Why not give him $5 billion? Why not, indeed?
Right?
Yeah. Pat's PC restart switch becoming very proficient in tweeting here. Just make it illegal to be white.
Yeah.
We're well aware that's what Democrats want to do, and they've kind of done that already, frankly. We've got to get this thing going. Squatching duck. How many slave owners have ever lived in San Francisco? How many slaves have there been ever in San Francisco? Well, yeah, zero. None. Was, again, not a slave state. Fraud in a progressive cash giveaway from Lone Wolf 2965. I won't stand for such scurrilous accusations. Indeed. Well, just sit there for them then. You just sit for the scurrilous accusations. That's all you have to do. Now, we were telling you about the show called The High Wire, and they had a nurse on the show to discuss the rapid rise of infant deaths in the post-COVID-19 vaccine world. This is one that we really haven't touched on much. I mean, we've talked about young adults. We've talked about blood clots and myocarditis.
Right when we went away for the break there was a child who the parents insisted got to give my baby unvaccinated blood. Didn't matter to the doctors.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that fight.
Okay, yeah. And then the child ballooned up from a blood clot in its leg. It killed the infant. And the pictures were just horrific and sad. And that's the other thing. blood transfusions.
Right.
I mean, if you're in a car wreck and you're out cold, man, you have no say on what they put into your body. Mm-hmm. So you might as well be vaxxed on the other side of that car wreck, if that's what they give you.
Because you very well could be.
I mean, what do you put on your driver's license now? Unvaccinated blood only. And is that even going to be respected?
I don't think so.
So the trick is just don't need blood, and you'll be fine.
So, yeah, right. So
it's
not hard, right?
This thing's going to get in you one way or another, whether by choice, by force, by something like that, like a transfusion. Mm-hmm. You saw, wasn't it Dr. Malone who said, it's passed between spouses now. Everybody's going to have it.
With the spike protein.
It
can just pass to others.
Yep.
Unbeknownst to the innocent, unvaxxed person, it can happen anyway. So here's this nurse talking about the infant deaths.
I'm a postpartum nurse. I've thought about quitting multiple times because of all the carnage that I've been seeing. In March of 2021, it was about 2 months after the vaccines really started to roll out, I noticed that in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit, it used to always have about 50 babies in there. And all of a sudden in March 2021, there were 80 babies in the NICU. So that's a very high number for the NICU. And then in April of 2021, I started noticing that there were fetal demises on the board in labor and delivery. A fetal demise is a baby that passed away in utero, but they're usually full term. So, anywhere from 32 weeks to 40 weeks even. I would look on their charts and I was noticing that a lot of these mothers had received the vaccine.
What would be the average rate of, stillborn
good question,
fetal demise on your floor?
When I started working there in November 2020, there used to be 1 or 2 every 2 or 3 months. Since March of 2021, there were 1 or 2 each week.
We could just say, well, this is just Michelle's opinion. Today, she has bravely released to us an internal document, an email from that hospital system that was sent out to those working there. This went out to the staff. Good evening, everyone. Well, it seems as though the increase of demise patients that we are seeing is going to continue. There were 22 demises in August, which ties the record number of demises in July 2021. And so far in September, there have been 7, and it's only the 8th day of the month.
So here we go. I don't know when this is going to...
Amazing coincidence, I guess. You just got to chalk that up to an incredible coincidence. Jeez. Another doctor, this one in Great Britain, a cardiologist, is calling for the mRNA shots to be stopped.
Yeah, this guy is the doctor who was, I'm pretty sure he was big time on board with the vaccine. Don't quote me on that. But his dad got the vaccine, died from I think he even explains it, a heart issue. And he's like, my dad's heart was totally fine. What is? He had no prior health issues, and so he actually went through after his dad's death, went through and figured out what killed him, and that's what has sent him down this path. And here he is.
The COVID mRNA vaccines do carry a cardiovascular risk, and I've actually called for the suspension of this pending an inquiry because there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment about what's causing the excess deaths. Some of it will be ambulance delays. My own father, it was reported on BBC News in late 2021. I was the first to actually highlight the ambulance delays because my own father suffered a cardiac arrest at home, and the ambulance took 30 minutes. And when his post-mortem came out, he had very severe coronary artery disease, which is unexplainable. I then published in a peer-reviewed journal. They accepted my findings that the likely cause of his death was 2 doses of the Pfizer mRNA vaccine he had 6 months earlier. So
there you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, so he's the growing chorus of doctors, healthcare professionals saying, you got to stop with this, man. Stop. Can we just stop it and then figure it out?
If this was anything else, they would have already done that.
Yeah.
Anything else. Because with everything else, they have. From Tylenol to Fen-Phen to you name it. They take it off the market immediately. The baby formula had 2 deaths. Took it off the market, and you couldn't get it for a year.
Who's the doctor who made the video for WEF? He works hand in hand with Dr. Fauci, and we just played his clips during overtime last Thursday. Oh, my gosh. Remember, he was saying how before there was a COVID vaccine, he was warning Congress. He's like, look, we've taken stuff off for 2 deaths before. But for some reason, like the COVID vaccine is hands off. That's magic.
It's sacred.
Not allowed to touch that one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my goodness.
And then continually we're told we're crazy. It's safe and effective. Shut up. Well, wait. Is there anything that we are missing here? We don't know what's in it.
Science is settled.
Okay. Just shut up. But the push for shots isn't even slowing down in the face of all of this. They just keep doing it. Now they've turned to Martha Stewart.
Okay.
They've enlisted her to push the Pfizer vaccine.
You know that unwelcome guest everyone wishes would just leave already? That's COVID-19. That's why I got the new updated booster, designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. Got it?
Nope. Yeah, it's great they've turned to an ex-con to push the vaccine. That's really nice. That's good to see. Solid. That is a solid promotion right there. Good. Yeah, I listened to everything that Martha Stewart says.
All that commercial made me want to do is eat pineapple. So here we go. I mean, the onslaught of the PR campaign, it's not letting up. In fact, it's just kicking into higher gear. They're not going to stop pushing this, man.
No, they're not. This is pretty clear. We got some satellite images now of Chinese crematoriums and funeral homes that kind of hint at the COVID outbreak's true toll in China. I mean, they do not own up to what's going on there. For a while, they were saying, yeah, they had 35,000 or 75,000 infections a day for a time, but they still claim, very few deaths. It seems to me the death toll in China they claim is under 5,000. Ours is what, 1.2, 1.3 million? Yeah. Theirs is 5,000. Oh.
So granted, I mean, they're obviously undercounting and
we're overcounting.
Overcounting, yeah. Yeah, we might share some of that today in overtime, some of those numbers.
So a lot of people are questioning the government's reporting, pointing to the recent deaths of prominent artists, scientists, academics, athletes. I mean, so many. And then these satellite images taken over multiple cities in China show heightened activity outside crematoriums and funeral homes. That's what was up there just a second ago. Maybe we could show that again. And so it appears to contradict the country's low official total, their death figures.
So they need extra parking at these places.
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
My gosh.
That's a big difference.
Sure is.
Huh.
A lot of cars in that parking lot.
Interesting. The images were taken by Maxar in late December and early January and shared with NBC News. They show a new parking lot has been built since early December at a funeral home in one of the Chinese cities on the outskirts of Beijing. Other images from cities around the country show a greater number of cars parked outside funeral homes compared with similar periods in past years. Now, I don't know that that's conclusive, but it's just a clue that maybe they've got a little extra business than they used to have. Construction equipment was visible at the funeral home during a visit on December 22nd while workers in white hazmat suits.
Whoa, that's a tip-off.
Yeah, kind of. Could be seen unloading caskets from a steady stream of vans. Wow. Multiple times per week. Elsewhere in Beijing, crematoriums have been operating 24/7 with one major funeral home telling NBC News the wait time for a cremation slot was up to 2 weeks. Some funeral homes no longer even allow memorial services.
I mean, this is what happens when you lock down a society. You're not allowing them to develop any kind of herd immunity.
Yeah.
Not allowing them to go anywhere. And then now it just explodes, and the bill's coming due.
The chickens are coming home to roost. Okay, can you look up, Keith, the American death toll, the official death toll for COVID-19 here in America? Because China's official death count, I just mentioned, was under 5,000. It's a little over 5,000. It's 5,270. Since the start of the pandemic, 5,270.
Nice job, China.
Wow, they've done a great job.
1.11 million here.
1.1?
1.11, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. 1.11 million. Oof. And they have 5,270. I mean, you don't want anybody to die, but...
And I think the truth is somewhere in between.
Yeah. Yeah, but our number is probably closer than theirs.
Sure.
She's out of 1.4 billion, you've had 5,000 deaths. Huh. Good job. You guys are really stopping the outbreak there. Huh. Speaking of China, 2 more secret CCP police stations have been discovered in Los Angeles and New York, according to a new report. Oh, good. Good. So 2 secret Chinese Communist Party police stations in our country?
That doesn't seem right.
It doesn't. A nonprofit group, though, has discovered 48 new overseas police stations with ties to China's communist regime, including 2 previously unknown facilities in L.A. and New York City. The newly identified sites are among more than 100 police outposts that spread out across 53 nations. The facilities have been used by the CCP to carry out an illicit campaign of transnational repression.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, good. It's outrageous that the communist Chinese government is exercising extraterritorial law enforcement on U.S. soil. Yeah, that's an understatement. It should be a top priority of Secretary Blinken and Attorney General Garland to shut down these stations to protect our Chinese-American constituents. Well, and the spying going on from China is just out of control, and everybody knows it.
So China has a police force operating within our nation's borders.
Yeah, 2 of them, at least, that we know of now.
And okay,
I mean, how do we know that we haven't discovered 100 more?
Yeah, and of course now we learned that they're donating tons of money to Ivy League colleges. So their influence is strong there.
Sure, including what was it, $45 million to the Biden Foundation thing?
54.
At Penn? 54.
And then most of that, half of that was anonymous.
Okay.
You know, where the
nothing to worry about.
Where
nothing
the classified documents were found.
Yeah, move along. Nothing to see here.
Okay, cool.
Let me tell you about Start Mail. If you're tired of feeling like your personal data is at risk, or you worry that big tech is watching every move you make, you don't have to. If you don't want anyone else knowing where you've been, who you've met, and what you're thinking, Start Mail is the perfect solution for protecting your privacy and giving you peace of mind. And you don't have to be doing anything nefarious to want this, because I love this. And it's a fantastic service. You think that, well, all my stuff is private with Google or Yahoo. No. They sell that information to people all over the place. But Start Mail's secure email service keeps your inbox safe from unwanted spying eyes, and it protects you from spam, which is another huge plus to me. Every message can be encrypted or password protected, and when you delete an email, it's gone. It's not like other services where you delete it and it's still there somewhere and somebody can find it and use it against you. Sign up today to save 50% on your first subscription year. There's never been a better time to go to startmail.com/unleashed and join the thousands of people who have chosen Start Mail for their email security needs. That's StartMail with a T, StartMail, startmail.com/unleashed for 50% off.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
We have a video here that's hard to believe. Guy went into the Mall of America doing a little shopping.
It's America, right?
And he was wearing a really offensive T-shirt. Check this out and see if you would have kicked the guy out too.
But Jesus is associated with religion. And
Can you pause that? His shirt says Jesus saves, and on the back it has the coexist nauseating logo that's marked through. You know that bumper sticker you see everywhere? Ugh, it's just annoying. Anyway, so this guy, this Paul Blart is saying, hey, that's offensive because Jesus is religious.
Yeah. I'd say so, yeah. So is that it?
So free speech.
So the guy confronts him and tells him to either take the shirt off.
Yeah, so free speech need not apply at the Mall of America.
it's about eternal life. Okay, but it's the same thing. Okay, people have been offended.
People are offended.
Like I said, all we were asking you is to take your shirt off.
Unreal.
Go to Macy's,
Take it off.
I didn't say anything though.
I haven't said anything.
I didn't
Wow.
speak. I didn't say anything.
I haven't said a word.
Went to Macy's.
Just enough you wear the shirt, you walk around.
This is in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to that.
Where you can't wear a Jesus Saves T-shirt.
Correct.
Unbelievable.
Again, I'm giving you.
Wow.
Again, you can leave or take your shirt off.
Or you can leave the mall.
He's got another shirt underneath it, so he wouldn't be naked. But come on.
Unless you want to be placed in another.
And this,
If you want to shop here,
here we go.
You need to take that shirt off. What is wrong with what is wrong with
I can't believe
America 2023.
what is wrong with my t-shirt?
What's wrong with my shirt? There's good.
Again, sir. It is religious
Again, sir.
soliciting.
It's religious
There is
soliciting.
No soliciting allowed.
Soliciting?
Don't look at my shirt.
That's not soliciting.
Don't look at my shirt.
It's a statement of fact. Jesus saves.
I swear.
Was that guy fighting for him? The guy that was speaking last there? I wonder if he was on the guy's side or.
I don't think anybody was on that guy's side.
That is crazy.
I was having a conversation with a gentleman about football the other day. And it was a good conversation and blah, blah, blah. And I turned to leave, and he turned around because we weren't really facing each other. And it was a Saints shirt, New Orleans Saints. Well, I'm a Falcons fan. That's our chief rival. And I said, oh, bro.
So were you offended?
I told him, I said, if I
take that off.
If I knew you were a
get out.
Saints fan, I probably wouldn't have had this conversation. You know, I'm so offended. No, but seriously.
If you're offended,
right?
Tough.
Leave.
Or don't look at it.
Don't look at the guy.
Don't look at it.
Interact with the guy. If the Jesus Saves shirt is that offensive to you, you're the one with issues, man. You've got to look in a mirror.
I'll bet you. If somebody walked through the mall with a T-shirt that had the F word on it, they would not be kicked out.
No.
I bet they wouldn't.
And if anyone dared to go up to security to complain, they would say, well, there's nothing I could do. It's free country, you know. It's free speech, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Whether there was mall policy against that or not, that's how 99 out of 100 Paul Blarts would respond.
If you had a T-shirt that said Allah Akbar,
yeah,
would they kick you out of the mall? Take that off, or we'll kick you out of the mall. There's no way they would do that. There's no way. I think this guy's got a little lawsuit coming against the Mall of America. Good luck. My God.
I wonder if there's a...
Shoppers are offended by a Jesus Saves T-shirt. So, if they're that easily offended, they shouldn't be out in public. Stay home.
Let's see. What do you think the chances of the ACLU getting involved on this guy's side are?
0. Maybe 1%. Every once in a while, they surprise you.
Every once in a while,
they're like, wait, what? You guys are helping this person? Yeah, it's not likely. I guess it could happen, but
I hope he pushes back.
I do too.
I'm just looking to see if there's an update on there. Yeah.
Do we know the outcome here? Did he eventually leave or take off the shirt? God, why it's crazy.
Let's see here.
Seriously, if somebody lives in Minneapolis, you should test whether or not they tolerate other forms of free speech that might appear on a T-shirt.
Yeah, a lot of people were commenting that, what country is this? Where did this happen? I can't believe this. And then they found out, oh, that's America 2023.
Yeah. Wow, really bad. Really bad.
Yeah, I don't know where this stands. I don't know.
Huh.
I think he left, but I'm just not positive on
Probably. I mean, they were really insistent, and they would have hassled him the whole time or grabbed him and put cuffs on him, drag him out by his hair.
I was surprised that there weren't segways in the video with the mall cops standing around there. That was the only thing.
He was very Paul Blart-like, wasn't he?
Boy, he was.
Jeez. Except I don't think Paul Blart would kick somebody out of the mall with a Jesus Saves T-shirt.
No.
That wouldn't happen.
But very similar body type, I'll say that.
Yes. But like you said, without the segue to scoot around the mall in.
It's a good movie, by the way. Let's be honest.
Oh.
Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Brilliant Academy Award.
Oh, it is awesome.
Style.
Oh, that's a great flick.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like it?
No, I love it.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did watch it.
But you weren't into
it was good. It was okay.
It's great for what it is.
I like Kevin James.
Yes. He makes any movie, so
it's fun.
If you go in just wanting to be entertained.
He just played Sean Payton in a movie.
The coach?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And I thought the whole time, Sean Payton is not a fat guy.
Right.
This guy does not look like Sean Payton. Why did you choose this? But Payton was in it at the very end, so he must have endorsed the movie. He played a janitor cleaning up in his office at the very end of the movie. Kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets here. Including this, by the way, Brad Meltzer coming up. Talk about his latest book in just a few minutes. Did you know this is from Frank Johnson. Did you know the indigenous people from the San Francisco area were completely gone within 2 generations of the Spanish founding it? I didn't know that.
So,
did you know that if you're going to San Francisco, you need to be sure to wear some flowers in your hair? If you're going to San Francisco, you're going to meet some gentle people there. Just so you know.
Well, I'm going to California to make a new start. Going to California with an aching in my heart.
With an aching in your heart?
Yeah.
Like a Troy Aiken? Or... No, that's not.
No.
Yeah, no. Okay.
No.
From Pathead T, the closest thing to a slave in San Francisco, I just get to speak today, were Chinese immigrants. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, who do you want to give this money to? Because obviously you're discriminating against the Chinese slave labor that was in place that brought the railroad into San Francisco and all sorts of good stuff.
Jay Ford tweets, safe and effective is a joke. On the vaccine? What?
Whoa.
Where are you getting that, Jay Ford?
Back it up, bro.
That doesn't fly here. I was forced to get one to keep my job. Oh. And got the J&J, the Johnson & Johnson. Felt like I was having a heart attack for 12 weeks. Dang.
Yeah.
So the Johnson & Johnson's not even mRNA technology, right? Isn't that it's a different kind of vaccine? I think Johnson & Johnson is maybe actually a vaccine, where the other one isn't.
And there are so many people on social media who are listing their ailments and what they have suffered from now from this thing. And then many people who haven't felt any effects, who walk around regretting their shot, thinking they're a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And the stress from that alone, I am so sorry that we are here as a society. And God bless you. Especially if you were coerced or forced into this decision.
Yeah, to keep your job.
Will.
Which, what are you going to do? If you've been doing that for a long time, it's your livelihood, and they're threatening you with your job, you're probably going to get the vaccination, even though you really don't want to. Because you got to support a family.
I mean, just the way they went about this. Let's say it's the most safe and effective thing ever. Okay, let's just say that is how it played out. The fact that they were threatening you in all quarters of society to get this says plenty about it for me.
And the fact that the Democrats are in bed with Big Pharma. Who saw that coming? That's amazing. For this administration to be hand in hand with Pfizer and Moderna, because there's money to be made by this, and they are making money, aren't they? Like, don't they share the?
Yeah, there was a good special by Glenn down the hall here about the patent and everything.
Yep.
But isn't it amazing that the Democrat Party has flipped a switch and now they're pro big pharma, they're pro going to war effectively.
Yeah.
In Ukraine.
Absolutely. Incredible.
It's just.
Speaking of Democrats, this next video, I don't know. Can this be real? I have not yet seen it yet, but Keith is telling me what Chelsea Handler is about to say here.
So
this is unbelievable.
Okay, so she's 47 years old. Okay?
Now?
Right
She's
now.
47.
Right.
Okay, so she says she learned something by 40.
Yeah, so at the age of 40, she discovered some scientific truth for the first time. This is unbelievable. This just shows you how dumb some of these people are.
But stupid.
Period.
See for yourself.
No, and this is true.
I didn't know.
I didn't know until I was 40 years old that the sun and the moon were not the same thing.
What?
It's hard to believe, but what are you talking about?
I was shocking to me as well. I mean,
of course, it must have been more shocking to you.
I was like, I was in Africa. We were on safari. My sister and I were riding an elephant, and there was a man riding an elephant for us because we don't know how to ride an elephant.
Yeah.
And my older sister Simone looked up at the sky, and she said, Chelsea, look up. It's not often you get to see the sun and the moon at the same time.
Yeah.
What?
Listen to this.
And I was like, I was like Scooby-Doo. I'm like, I said it. I go, but they're always together. And as soon as I said that, she turned around. She goes, what did you say? And I was like, oh, shut up. I'm like, I knew what I said was wrong.
Giddy up, elephant.
I was like, let's canter. Is that what an elephant does?
Oh my God.
And she looked at me. She goes, I need you. And I just tried to gloss over it. I was like, never mind what I said. I know. And she said, no, I need you to tell me what you think is happening between the sun and the moon.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, honestly, I just assumed when the sun went down, it popped back up as the moon, you know?
A little costume change.
Is that not what's happening? The man riding the elephant spoke no English and went, and he's just like another dumb American.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you for being an ambassador for us over there. Is that the worst clip we've ever played of a human being on this show?
Yeah. Of an adult?
Of an adult human being.
Wow, we should be calling her every week for more on trivia. That is... I can't even fathom that.
That's difficult,
7 years ago, she realized the sun and the moon were different?
At the age of 40. Readily admits it, too.
How is that possible? And I thought, no, she's joking or she's being facetious. No, she's got a whole story that goes along with it.
Yep.
This is a person who sounds off on political issues on a regular basis. This is who we're dealing with.
Like if you
on
ever,
the other side.
If you ever hear Chelsea Handler making a point online or something like that,
oh my gosh!
all you have to respond
bring up
with
the sun and the moon.
Just why don't you sit this one out?
Yeah, why don't you sit everything out?
Why don't you go and look at the sky?
Oh my gosh! How is that possible? You graduated from high school?
Boy, I don't know.
Believing the sun and the moon were the same thing?
I wonder where she went to school here.
Holy cow.
Let's see. She's from New Jersey. I wonder if she went to... I have no idea. Anybody will claim her. Yeah, I don't
So every month, the sun at night, for some reason in the day it's completely unblocked, but at night it would go through different phases during the month where we were between... I don't know how it was. So, she obviously didn't give any thought to...
Right.
Hey, how is the moon not full all the time?
Some calendars do moon phases. I'm just looking to see if this one has lunar phase. Lunar would be sun. Let's see here. Lunar would be moon, Keith. Lunar.
Solar is sun.
Solar is sun. I'm just looking to see if I have a solar calendar or a lunar calendar here. Sorry. Yeah, no, it looks like it's just doing moon stuff here.
Really,
so that's
really unbelievable. All right. Wow. I mean, what more can you add to that? You play it and it's self-explanatory, isn't it? There's a financial war against the middle class going on right now. That's no secret. We did it, Joe. Higher gas prices, higher mortgage rates, 2 for 1. Now household debt is soaring at its fastest pace since the 2008 crisis. But there are always options. Talked about Masterworks for over a year now. But last year was their best yet. Over $25 million returned to their investors from 9 exits, which all sold for a profit. In fact, every deal Masterworks has closed has been for net returns over 9%. They're the real deal. Wouldn't talk about them otherwise. Now, I'm no art expert. And with Masterworks, you don't need to be. That's the great thing. Their SEC qualified pieces from legends like Picasso are portfolio diversifiers and potential return drivers. And again, like 9% and more. These are not some Hunter Biden scribbles. These are real Masterworks. So diversify with Masterworks. It's really easy, but I'm going to make it even easier for you. You'll get priority access to skip their wait list just by signing up at masterworks.com/unleashed. It's actually masterworks.io/unleashed. Okay, don't forget that. masterworks.io/unleashed. See the important Regulation A disclosures at masterworks.com/CD. Again, that's masterworks.io/unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, we have Brad Meltzer joining us today.
Right.
Hey, Brad, welcome.
Good to be back, Brother Pat.
You are incredibly prolific, and you have written yet another book. This one sounds really, not like your others don't, but this sounds really cool. The Nazi Conspiracy, the Secret Plot to Kill Roosevelt, Stalin, and Churchill. Welcome, and tell us about this. How'd you I've never heard of this conspiracy. How did you find out about it?
Yeah, no, this is a true story. Really happened. I don't think the internet is good for many things these days, Pat, but it is good for obscure historical details. Mm-hmm. And I found this, this mention of a secret plot to kill Churchill, Stalin, and FDR at the height of World War II. It was a half-page, maybe page-long article. It had barely any details, and I said, "Is this true? Did it happen?" And it all really happened. And I just, we just went down the rabbit hole, and basically a book came out. It was magic like that.
Wow, cool. And what will be new for armchair historians? What don't they know that you found out?
Yeah, and let's just paint the picture. It's 1943. It's the moment where the Nazis have invaded the Soviet Union. Stalin's getting decimated. He wants our help. He's like, come invade. He basically wants the Battle of Normandy, the invasion of Normandy to happen so he can have that, and pinch those Nazis and make sure that, get them out of the Soviet Union and attacks. So FDR, Stalin, and Churchill need to meet together for the very first time to figure out this plan and to plan Normandy. And so they meet in Tehran, Iran, of all places.
Huh.
And FDR comes to town. His motorcade is coming down the center of the city. Everyone's craning their neck trying to see the president. The president's waving back. What none of them know, Pat, is that that's not FDR in the motorcade. It's actually a Secret Service decoy. The real FDR is across town, ducked down and hiding in the back of a beat-up sedan because they're worried as they go through the side streets that there's a Nazi assassin who will kill him, and I just ruined chapter 1 of the Nazi conspiracy.
That's really amazing. I don't think I want the gig as decoy. Right. That doesn't sound like a desirable position.
Yeah, someone asked me if I would be the decoy, and I was like, have you seen me? Have you seen my build? Like, I am not built for such things.
Yeah. So how did we find out about it to put this decoy into the car?
Yeah. So what happened is when the White House head of the Secret Service, a guy named Mike Riley, and Mike Riley was promoted the day after Pearl Harbor to guard FDR. He used to carry FDR in his arms like a baby. Like he was the only one of the few guys strong enough to actually carry him. And he's the one who spoke to, at that point, the Soviet intelligence, who had a report about a group of 6 paratroopers that were still on the loose who were in Tehran. And the stories to me, listen, we all know FDR. We all know Stalin. We've heard the name Winston Churchill, of course. But the best part of this story are the people you don't know. There's a guy named Otto Skorzeny. He's a Nazi. And Otto Skorzeny gets paid to go to Hitler's headquarters, his secret headquarters called the Wolf's Lair. And Hitler's bringing in all of his best special operations fighters, and Otto Skorzeny is a special ops guy. He wants to find the toughest one for a secret mission. And he lines them all up shoulder to shoulder in the big room, and he asks them and quizzes them with one question. He says, "What do you think of Italy?" And all of them start spouting, kind of like, "Oh, we love Italy. They're on our side. We're going to fight with them to the death." All sound macho and great. And this one Nazi, Otto Skorzeny, shouts above everybody else and says, and he says, "I am from Austria, my Fuhrer." Because he knows that Adolf Hitler is from Austria, and a true Austrian actually resents Italy because in World War I, Italy took a key piece of Austria and never gave it back. And at that moment, Adolf Hitler turns to Otto Skorzeny and he's like, "You're my guy." And he sends him on this secret mission. I won't ruin the part of the book, but it's so crazy what this guy Otto Skorzeny does that it earns him the nickname, the most dangerous man in Europe. We actually had to put, Josh mentioned, my co-writer, put an actual photograph of this moment in the book because we were like, if we don't show a photo, people will not believe it really happened. And it's the wildest Nazi story you've never heard.
Wow. I can't wait to dig into this. So, was he the assassin then?
I'm doing it.
I mean,
you'll see. There's a couple. There's a couple guys. Obviously, the whole thing is you don't know what you never know who the assassin's really going to be because the plot gets thwarted. That doesn't ruin anything. Although I'll tell you, my son just finished a book. My 21-year-old son read the book. He loved the book, and he says, "I have one problem, Dad." I said, "What?" He says, "I kind of wanted everyone at the end to die." And I was like, "Come on, you want me to kill Winston Churchill and FDR?" I'm like, it's not. I can't Tarantino this, He wanted more blood, and I was like, "But this is a history book. It reads like a thriller, but it's a true story. I can't change the end."
Can I just throw this out there, Brad? Because as a homeschooling parent, my 17-year-old son, he loves World War II history. He loves little-known history. And your book came out just at the perfect time with this semester starting. So that is a homeschool curriculum for my son to read this book. So thank you for it. It's perfect.
Tell him to turn down his bloodlust for the end, and he'll be very happy.
I don't know if I can help with that.
So you mentioned that they were meeting in Tehran, Iran. Is that where things were supposed to happen? Is that where this was supposed to go down?
Yeah, that's where it was all going to go down. What happened was they wanted, this is the very first meeting where Stalin and Churchill and FDR get together. And they went to Stalin and they said, "Let's pick an equidistant place. We'll measure out on the globe and find, a place equal for all of us. We'll meet you in Alaska." Stalin's like, "No, not a chance." And the reason he wants Iran is because the British and the Soviets have an embassy there, so they have good security there. And he also believes that the desert location is going to be a great way for them to kind of keep secrets. And also, that's where we're sending all our weapons through we use an Iranian railroad, a Turanian railroad there. And so we have actually people there as well. And, of all the places it can be, what's crazy about it is there's another Nazi guy whose name is Franz Mayer. He's on the ground in Tehran. He's a Nazi spy who's basically hiding in Tehran. Basically, the Nazis think he's useless. They thought he got captured. They thought he was lost, but he's on the ground. And then he gets word out that, listen, I'm alive. I got a paratrooper place you can send in supplies. Here, I have a ground. I've been building a network of Nazis that are sympathetic to our cause. And he says, "I'm here. Here's a secret code you can put on the radio so I can know you got my message." And at that moment, the Nazis realize that they have the best thing that anyone gets in a fight, which is an opportunity. And now the big three are coming to Tehran, and they've got a guy on the ground. And you'll see how the wildest part is that this guy, Franz Mayer, is sleeping with a local woman who's from a wealthy family. He's in love. He's not just there because he loves the Nazi cause. He's in love. What he doesn't know is this woman is sleeping with another guy who happens to be an American GI. So he's whispering in bed secrets to her. She's whispering secrets to us.
All right.
I literally could not make this up. I couldn't make this stuff up. It's so crazy.
I have a question here, because when you find a story that sparks your interest enough to write a book around it, how do you go about researching this stuff? And like, have you ever started writing a book and be like, man, there's not enough here to make a story? Like, what's that process like for you, man?
No, that's exactly. Listen, when we did the secret plot to kill George Washington, we went to the National Archives, we went to the Historical Society, we did the secret plot to kill Abraham Lincoln, not the John Wilkes Booth plot, but the original plot to kill him.
That's a
Again,
great
National
book.
Archives has stuff. This book, we had to go and we're trying to read Secrets of Nazis and Soviets. We had to get people and researchers who speak German and Russian.
Wow.
And it was much trickier. The thing that's amazing is the Nazis used to keep their best intelligence, their top secret intelligence, was on something called the brown sheets. Literally named that way because they were printed on dark brown paper. And the brown sheets were, kept in a very, careful zip compartment. You had to destroy what you read after you read it within 30 days, no matter what. And the head of propaganda, Joseph Goebbels, used to keep these very extensive diaries. And he was really, an incredible intelligence fiasco was he used to write down what he read in the brown sheets in his diaries. And so we got to read the diaries. And when you read the diaries, that's how we figured out that, we all know the story of the Enigma machine and how we cracked the Nazi codes. What I didn't realize is they had cracked our codes. They had cracked the international cables that Churchill and FDR were sending to each other. And you read that stuff and you realize how I know we all think that World War II went our way. That wasn't a foregone conclusion. The alliance between FDR and Stalin and Churchill was completely precarious. And you see how close it is in this moment, especially when you read the book, how quickly it could have gone the other way.
We're speaking to Brad Meltzer about his new book, The Nazi Conspiracy. During the research of this book, what surprised you the most? Were there any big things that, you weren't aware of?
Yeah, I think what surprised me the most is, and this is the heart of the book, it's titillating to say, we found, we got the secret plot. We're going to write about the secret plot to kill the big three. But what's the book really about? And studying history, you don't study history just because it's, dates and facts are cool. You study history because of it informs something about today. And to me, when I saw in Charlottesville, there are Nazis marching those few years back. And I'm not talking about throwing the word Nazi around. I'm talking about true Nazis that were there marching. And you think, we all wring our hands and we're like, how could this happen in America in 2023? And the amazing part is what shocked me, Pat, is we found that in World War II, there was a Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden. In the heart of New York City, 20,000 Nazis got together to cheer. And with big giant banners of George Washington surrounded by swastikas, the first speaker that rally said, if George Washington were alive today, he'd be friends with Adolf Hitler.
Oh my gosh!
And you got to remember that. What shocked me is that World War II wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And Frank and Barbara Walters are born in the same year. And to me, what I think the American dream is about, it's not about making money. It's about when you see someone being picked on, when you see someone being bullied, you use your voice and you say enough. All those German bureaucrats that went along with Hitler, it wasn't just Hitler, all of them sat in meetings and made plans and figured out how to murder Jews efficiently, and none of them did anything. And we as Americans have to, when we see that happening, whatever the minority group is, you got to say enough. Use your voice.
It's interesting, too, because the world has changed so much since World War II. Alliances and, we just don't think and feel the same way we did back in the 40s. And it's interesting that we were allied with such a bad guy in Joe Stalin. And yet it kind of worked out. Right?
No, but listen, you're exactly right. People forget that, the Soviets were on the side of the Nazis at the beginning of the war.
Right.
The only reason they switched to our side is because
Hitler
invaded.
Them.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, he's going to invade us. I'm going to be on I'm going to the good guy's side. He's not a good guy. Like
no.
They call him the Man of Steel for a reason. But the thing that World War II does for us is World War II is one of the few times, maybe the only time in modern times where the American government, everyone can say, whatever your politics are, can say, the government went in, we did the right thing, we saved the day, and we're all on the same side.
Yeah.
Nothing do we all agree on today. So World War II isn't just a moment that happened. It's an ideal That's part of the American psyche. It's proof of us that we can stand up to evil and do the right thing. And that's why we study it. That's why when you read the Nazi conspiracy, you're going to see these parts and you're going to realize even more how wonderful and amazing America is, especially when you see what FDR is dealing with at that moment in time.
So real quick, how do I get the book?
You can go to Amazon, your local bookstore. You can download the ebook or the audiobook.
Oh, I'd love to have it in like 10 seconds. I love that. Just download the ebook. I'm going to do that today. Brad, thanks again. Appreciate it. Good luck with the Nazi conspiracy, secret plot to kill Roosevelt, Stalin, and Churchill. See you on Overtime. Coming up later.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.